But now let's talk about markets. So what are the end users of markets? We should start from end user. I think that's extremely important. And it is a picture of a trading floor in Holmens Canal in Copenhagen. And what you see here, it's like in the movie. Somebody's having, 8, 2, 5, 6, 7 screens. Everything's blinking. Charts are, changing. Numbers crossing. It's, it's really alive, and it's a bit stressful. If it's a good day, people are popping champagne. If it's a bad day, people jumping through the windows. The common thing. We also trade usually not with the retail customers. My unit represents corporates and institutions. That means extremely large clients, pension funds, companies like Maersk as one of the biggest container shipping companies. Carlsberg, Carlsberg, right? So that's a company that makes beer. So we are the financial partners for them. We issue bonds, we give them, capital that they want to raise for investments and, developing their companies. Now to get more about what we are in terms of people and some fact sheets. So Vilnius organization, we're still small. We are still expanding as a unit. We're one of the fresher ones, if we can compare it to everybody else in the bank in Vilnius. So we have 3 departments, we have 6 teams and 38 people so far. In the global perspective, we have 294 people, as in whole Markets IT. It's only IT people in joining us from Copenhagen in Denmark and then Bangalore in India. We have 70 systems which are meant for trading. So it could be anything from capturing the trades, talking to the clients via sales channel, or just simply putting your research. Research in markets is like marketing, right? You want to show somebody an idea why they want to purchase it. So that's why we do research. Then we have 11 in-house trading systems developed inside, and then one of them is the one I'm owning. It's a bond and equity trading system. So it's actually a really cool place to work because you get to actually develop a trading software yourself. That's not often what you get in Lithuania. There are few companies that do that, and in Danske Bank you do this for the global market. Not only for the Baltics, for everyone. And that's a very interesting place to be. It also a bit depends if you have something for the markets, if you like to trade, if you like to gamble sometimes. People say there are gamblers in markets, absolutely. But it's not the gamblers who win, unfortunately. We have 2,056 virtual and physical machines, so that's the scale we're working on, the computational resources. And that's more, facts for you to understand how big we are or how small. I don't know from which company it depends. For Google, that is micro. For somebody, small to medium, that is already something, right? Then each IT should be driven by strategy that is driven by requirements. And what are the requirements? They come daily from the business. And what does that mean for us? Usually in markets, time to market, right? You need to be faster. You need to be the one that gets the best decision in time. Or sometimes it could be okay decision, but still in the fastest time possible. Then we have a lot of domain complexity because, oh boys and girls, you don't imagine how many people want to rule the markets, and then they develop a lot of weird rules. So those rules are actually regulating us, both from European Union, from trading associations, everything that affects us as a financial partner, because you don't want people to cheat there. You don't want people to have some competitive edge which is based on something that is really a monopoly. And then of course you want to have something that just gives trust for the clients, that you're not being robbed. Because back in the day, in 90s or in 1980s, it was easy. You call a client, you say, so what you buying? You want to buy some socks? Okay, what's the price? 120? Let me call my manager. You call, can you sell me for 70? Okay, 70, fine. Then you call the client back, no, he said 150, do me 150. All right, sold. Then you sell people things like that, but we don't do that. So in markets now, it's regulated, it's nice, customers get good price, everybody's happy. But that means we need to do a lot more calculations, we need to provide more numbers, we need to be good at our data, and then we need to make the right decisions faster. That means also we have real-time systems. Everything's changing each second, not minute, not day, each second, sometimes microsecond. And then we're still driven by Conway's law. Anybody knows what's the Conway's law? No. It goes like that, organizations that develop software tend to develop software that looks in communication sense like organizations. That means you create something that reflects your organization. It might not be good because you want to be agile, you want to keep changing things. So we in markets, what we call trading technology over here, we're the bridge. We create the bridge between these business requirements and put them into solution space, which is the IT work. We create normally distributed systems based on domain-driven designs. We have APIs, messaging systems, of course, for integrability. We do a lot of event-driven architecture, which is the main, bread and butter to make things moving in real-time systems. And finally, we do cross-functional teams. And cross-functional means anybody can do anything, front-end, back-end, integrations, because that's important. It's important also because not only of the requirements, but maybe reducing risk. And in markets, we like to reduce risk. And maybe you know a thing called truck factor. Again, nobody knows truck factor. Guys, come on. You need to visit my lectures. So truck factor is, you assess how many people can be hit by a truck in your team and you can still survive or deliver, right? So if it's a truck factor of 2 people can just be hit by truck and tomorrow you're still working. In some organizations, there's even inverse truck factor, right? Which means how many people you need to get hit to start working. But not in our organization, don't worry. When we don't work, we also do create games. Maybe somebody know the game called Hexagon. We did play a bit in Vilnius. I'm not sure if it reached Kaunas that well on our communication. Maybe Nerijus will comment, ask him questions if you didn't know about the game. We'll talk with him. But that's something we also do. It's just games. What do you know? You come into bank, you come into markets, they have a fun and games department also. But not often we get to work on it, unfortunately. We still need to deliver. If we look at our engineers, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, it's good to be, pretty sharp on your clean coding techniques. You should be good at communication as a person because it's very important for us to be close to business, to talk to end users. And we even have a tradition on your first 3 months, you need to go to the trading floor because it's very hard to understand when you're just in Vilnius over Skype talking to some trader saying, dude, I just lost 200 million deal because of your, software. You don't understand, well, fine, maybe we'll fix it, but when you're there physically, when you physically see those 200 million being crossed out, then you feel the heat. But it's fun, it's totally fun. And it's good to see, the whole dynamic of this work environment. Then, of course, everything that is good on software architecture, cat theory, messaging systems, domain-driven design. So we really value that. And then I think it's important to somehow either at least be attracted to the domain because it's quite complex. But I can tell you more stories later. And then what technologies we use? We normally work a lot of, a broad range of technologies. But in the latest platform level, we're a bit heavy on .NET, which means it's Microsoft tech stack based on majority of backend or front-end applications. On front-end, it's lighter because you have all these JavaScript frameworks, probably things. And recently, we also added Scala and Apache stack for our big data solutions. We work all of the, really standard things that is standard for IT companies as they should do. So nothing too special, except maybe a few things that are really narrow to markets. And those will be, low latency message bus technologies or some, market data, adopted databases. But apart from that, we're pretty damn standard, I would say. And apart from that, I think we still need a few minutes for questions, right, guys? So I'll stop here. And then, as I've said, please find me in the booth afterwards. Let's continue talking.